At 92, Margaret still wakes up every morning with the same spark she had in her youth. She tends to her garden, meets friends for lunch, and even flirts a little, just for fun. Her secret? It's not just her zest for life. It's knowing the one thing most people overlook when it comes to their health, especially as it relates to intimacy. If you're over 60, this isn't just another health tip. This could be the difference between thriving and unknowingly putting yourself at risk. Ready to uncover the truth? Let's dive in. 1. Hidden heart health dangers. Picture this. Helen, a vibrant 68-year-old with a laugh that fills a room, had always felt young at heart. She loved dancing at her community center, gardening, and yes, enjoying intimacy with her partner. But one evening, after what she thought was a routine romantic moment, she felt an unusual tightness in her chest. She brushed it off as fatigue, but days later, she found herself in the emergency room, shocked to learn she'd experienced a mild heart attack. The truth is, many women over 60 don't realize that sexual activity can put unexpected stress on the heart, especially if there are undiagnosed conditions. It's not that intimacy is dangerous. It's that heart issues often go unnoticed until the body sends an alarming signal. I remember my own scare. I wasn't Helen, but I had my wake-up call moment when walking up a simple flight of stairs left me breathless. I chalked it up to aging, but my doctor saw it differently. A few tests later, I learned I had high blood pressure I'd never noticed. If you've experienced chest tightness, shortness of breath, or unexplained fatigue, don't dismiss it. Schedule a heart health checkup. Ask your doctor about your heart's fitness for intimacy. It's not an awkward question. It's a life-saving one. Knowledge isn't just power, it's peace of mind. Understanding your heart's health allows you to enjoy closeness without worry. Imagine how freeing it feels to know your heart is strong, giving you the confidence to live fully, love deeply, and laugh loudly, just like Helen does today, after making her heart health a priority. 2. The silent threat of high blood pressure. Meet Doris, who swore she felt fine. She had a bit of dizziness now and then, occasional headaches, but she figured that was just part of growing older. "I'm healthy enough," she'd say, sipping her morning coffee while skimming the newspaper. But during a routine doctor's appointment, her blood pressure readings told a different story. Dangerously high, without her even realizing it. That's the thing about high blood pressure. It's a silent stalker. It doesn't shout. It whispers quietly until one day, it roars with consequences. What many don't realize is that physical intimacy can spike blood pressure temporarily, which can be risky if your numbers are already elevated. The combination of physical exertion and emotional excitement, while usually wonderful, can put extra strain on the heart. I'll admit, I used to think, "Oh, that won't happen to me." But after seeing my friend Doris's scare, I decided to check my blood pressure more regularly. It was a simple act that gave me surprising clarity about my health. Invest in a home blood pressure monitor. They're inexpensive, easy to use, and provide a clear picture of what's happening inside your body. Check your numbers regularly, especially if you have risk factors like a family history of hypertension. Control. That's what it gives you. Knowing your numbers means you're not leaving your health to chance. It's about feeling secure, knowing that your heart isn't carrying hidden stress. And when you feel secure, intimacy isn't shadowed by what-ifs. Instead, it becomes a joyful, carefree experience, exactly as it should be. 3rd, undiagnosed diabetes complications. Martha always thought of herself as reasonably healthy. She watched her diet, stayed active, and never had issues with her health, or so she thought. But she began noticing something strange. Intimacy wasn't as comfortable as it used to be. There was dryness, occasional discomfort, and she felt unusually tired afterward. She blamed it on aging until a routine checkup revealed the truth. She had undiagnosed type 2 diabetes. Diabetes affects far more than blood sugar levels. It impacts circulation, nerve function, and can lead to infections, particularly in areas we often don't think about. For women, this can mean recurrent urinary tract infections, vaginal dryness, and even reduced sexual sensation. The scary part? Many women don't realize they have diabetes until complications show up in the most unexpected ways. I remember having a candid conversation with Martha after her diagnosis. She said, "I thought it was just part of getting older, but it was my body trying to tell me something." Get screened for diabetes regularly, especially if you're over 60. A simple blood test can uncover issues before they become serious. And if you've noticed changes in your body, fatigue, increased thirst, frequent infections, don't brush them off. It's about reclaiming control over your body. Understanding what's happening beneath the surface helps you make choices that support not just your health, but your confidence. No more guessing games, no more silent struggles, just the freedom to enjoy life and love without discomfort or fear. 4. Medications that impact sexual function. Imagine sitting at your doctor's office, going over the usual checklist: blood pressure, cholesterol, maybe a quick chat about joint pain. But there's one thing that rarely comes up: how your medications might be quietly affecting your intimacy. That's exactly what happened to my dear friend Carol. She'd been feeling off for months, less interested in intimacy, more fatigued, and even experiencing discomfort she couldn't quite explain. She chalked it up to aging, until one day, she finally mentioned it during a routine appointment. Turns out, the very medications meant to support her health, blood pressure pills and antidepressants, were also the culprits behind her changes in libido and physical comfort. Carol's story isn't unique. Many women over 60 experience shifts in their sexual health due to medications, but they rarely connect the dots. If you've noticed changes in your sexual health, don't suffer in silence. Schedule an appointment with your doctor or pharmacist. Bring a list of all your medications, even over-the-counter ones, and ask, could any of these be affecting my sexual health? It's about feeling like yourself again. When you understand the connection between your health and intimacy, you're not left in the dark wondering, is it just me? There's power in having answers. Carol adjusted her medications with her doctor's guidance, and not only did her health improve, but so did her confidence, her energy, and yes, her intimacy. It's amazing how feeling informed can reignite not just desire, but a sense of control over your own body. 5. Drug interactions you might not expect. Let me tell you about Joan. She's 74, sharp as a tack, with a wit that could rival any stand-up comedian. One day, Joan decided to try an over-the-counter product she'd seen on TV, claiming to boost vitality and reignite passion. Sounds harmless, right? What she didn't realize was that mixing that supplement with her heart medication could have been a recipe for disaster. Luckily, Joan experienced only a brief dizzy spell before deciding something wasn't right. A trip to the doctor confirmed that the combination had caused a dangerous drop in her blood pressure. She was shocked. "I thought because it was natural, it was safe," she told me, shaking her head. "This happens more often than you'd think." Many supplements, herbal remedies, and even common cold medicines can interact with prescription drugs in ways that affect your heart, blood pressure, and overall health, especially during intimate moments when your body is already under added physical stress. Before starting any new supplement, vitamin, or over-the-counter product, check with your pharmacist or doctor. They can quickly review potential interactions, ensuring your health isn't compromised. Peace of mind. When you know your medications are working with your body, not against it, you can enjoy intimacy without that nagging worry in the back of your mind. Joan learned her lesson the hard way, but now she feels more in control and more confident, knowing she's making informed choices. 6. The overlooked side effects of hormone therapy. Hormone therapy can feel like a lifeline for many women dealing with the effects of menopause. Hot flashes, mood swings, and changes in intimacy. But like anything, it's not without risks, and sometimes those risks go unnoticed until they cause real problems. Take Linda, for example. She'd started hormone therapy in her early 60s to help with night sweats and a noticeable drop in her libido. At first, it felt like a miracle. She had more energy, her mood improved, and intimacy felt enjoyable again. But over time, she began experiencing unexpected symptoms: headaches, bloating, and even some unusual spotting. Linda thought these were just normal parts of aging, but after a routine checkup, her doctor discovered that her hormone levels were out of balance, increasing her risk for blood clots and other complications. She was devastated. "Why didn't anyone tell me this could happen?" she asked. If you're on hormone therapy or considering it, make sure you're getting regular checkups. Discuss any changes in your health, no matter how small they seem. It's also wise to ask about the risks specific to your health history, as hormone therapy isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. It's about trusting your body again. Linda's story taught me that while hormone therapy can be helpful, staying informed and proactive is the key. Knowing you're not just relying on medication blindly, but actively participating in your health journey brings a sense of empowerment. You deserve to feel good, not just physically, but emotionally, confident that you're making choices that support your well-being in every way. 7. The rising rates of STIs among seniors. When we think about sexually transmitted infections, STIs, most people picture younger folks navigating new relationships. But here's the surprising truth. STI rates among seniors have been steadily rising over the years. I remember my friend Gloria, who'd recently re-entered the dating scene after being widowed. She was vibrant, full of life, and excited about meeting new people. But she never thought to discuss protection because, in her words, "I'm past the age of worrying about that." It wasn't until a routine checkup revealed she had contracted an STI that she realized how common this actually is. She felt embarrassed at first, but her doctor reassured her that she wasn't alone. The truth is, many older adults don't think about using protection because pregnancy is no longer a concern, but STIs don't discriminate based on age. If you're sexually active, regardless of your age, regular STI screenings are essential. Schedule a screening annually or whenever you have a new partner. And yes, condoms are still your best defense, not just for younger generations. They're simple to use and readily available at any pharmacy. Peace of mind. Knowing you're taking care of your health allows you to enjoy intimacy without worry. Gloria told me that after her initial embarrassment faded, she felt empowered because she was informed. There's nothing more liberating than feeling confident in your choices, especially when it comes to your health and happiness. 8. The false sense of security without pregnancy risk. Let's talk about Susan, a bright, independent woman in her 70s who thought she had it all figured out. After all, menopause meant no more worrying about birth control, right? She had a new partner and felt carefree, thinking that her days of needing to be cautious were long gone. But here's the catch. While menopause might eliminate the risk of pregnancy, it doesn't erase the risk of STIs. Susan learned this the hard way after experiencing unusual discomfort and visiting her doctor, only to discover she had an infection. She was stunned. "I thought that was something you left behind in your 20s, she confided in me. "It's a common misconception. When pregnancy is no longer a concern, many assume protection isn't necessary. But intimacy isn't just about physical closeness. It's also about health and safety. Have an open conversation with your partner about STI testing. It might feel awkward, but it's one of the most important discussions you can have. Set the expectation early. Mutual testing shows care and respect for each other's health. Confidence and clarity. When Susan started having these conversations with her partner, she realized it wasn't just about safety. It deepened their trust. Being open about your health fosters emotional intimacy, making your connection stronger, more honest, and ultimately more fulfilling. 9. Symptoms that seniors often ignore. Meet Margaret. She's the type of woman who brushes things off. Aches, pains, you name it. "I'm just getting older," she'd say with a dismissive wave of her hand. But one day, she noticed a persistent itch and discomfort that wouldn't go away. She figured it was just dryness or irritation, nothing serious. Weeks turned into months until a friend convinced her to see a doctor. The diagnosis? An untreated STI that had been causing inflammation. Margaret was shocked. "I thought STIs always came with obvious signs," she admitted. But here's the truth. Many STIs in older adults present with subtle symptoms: vaginal dryness, itching, mild discomfort, things easily mistaken for normal aging. Don't ignore persistent changes in your body. If you experience unusual discharge, discomfort, itching, or changes in urination, see your doctor. It's better to rule out something serious than to let it go unchecked. Self-respect. Paying attention to your body is an act of self-love. Margaret's biggest regret wasn't having the infection. It was not listening to herself sooner. Now, she's her own best advocate, and that's the beauty of it. When you trust your instincts, you're not just protecting your health, you're honoring your worth. You deserve care, attention, and answers. Don't settle for less. 10. The link between mental health and sexual well-being. Let me tell you about Evelyn. She was always the life of the party, bright eyes, a quick laugh, and a way of making everyone feel seen. But after her husband passed, something shifted. She wasn't just grieving, she was slowly retreating from the world, her zest for life dimming like a light on a fading battery. Evelyn didn't realize that what she was feeling wasn't just sadness. It was depression. What surprised her even more? How much it affected her sense of intimacy, even years after her grief had softened. She thought the disinterest in closeness was just part of aging, but it wasn't. Mental health and sexual well-being are deeply connected. When we feel disconnected emotionally, it's hard to feel connected physically. If you've noticed a shift in your interest in intimacy, or if you're feeling persistently low, anxious, or overwhelmed, don't ignore it. Talk to a trusted friend, a counselor, or your doctor. Mental health support isn't just for serious cases. It's for anyone who wants to feel better, period. Hope. Evelyn's turning point came when she joined a support group for widows. Sharing her feelings, realizing she wasn't alone, reignited something inside her. Mental health care isn't just about feeling normal. It's about feeling alive again. And that aliveness often ripples into every part of our lives, including intimacy. 11. The emotional impact of intimacy after loss. After my husband passed, the idea of dating again felt foreign. I remember my friend Rose gently nudging me, saying, "You're still here. You still deserve companionship." But the thought of being close to someone new felt like a betrayal, not just to my late husband, but to the life we'd built together. Then I met Jack. He was kind, patient, and never rushed me. But even with his gentleness, I carried a heavy mix of guilt and fear. Could I open my heart again? Would it mean I was forgetting my past? Here's what I learned. Intimacy after loss isn't about replacing someone. It's about rediscovering parts of yourself. You still crave connection, laughter, and even a tender touch. Take your time. There's no timeline for healing and no rule book for when or if you should open your heart again. Talk about your feelings with someone you trust. And if you do meet someone new, be honest about where you're at emotionally. Freedom. When I allowed myself to feel without judgment, I realized that love isn't limited. Our hearts are capable of holding both grief and joy. And yes, intimacy can be part of that healing, an affirmation that life, in all its beautiful messiness, still has so much to offer. 12. Consent and cognitive decline. This one's tender, and it's something many don't talk about enough. Intimacy when cognitive abilities change, whether due to dementia, Alzheimer's, or other conditions. My friend Barbara faced this with her husband, Tom. They'd been married for over 50 years, partners in every sense. But as Tom's memory faded, their dynamic shifted. He sometimes forgot details of their life together, but his affection remained strong. Barbara was torn. She loved him deeply, but their intimate moments felt different. Was it okay? Was it mutual? She navigated this with grace, seeking advice from counselors specializing in dementia care. What she learned changed everything. Consent isn't just about a single yes or no. It's about ongoing communication, comfort, and emotional connection. If you or someone you love is facing cognitive changes, talk openly about boundaries, consent, and comfort. It might mean redefining intimacy, focusing on holding hands, gentle touches, or shared moments that feel safe for both people. Compassion. Barbara realized that intimacy isn't just physical, it's emotional closeness, shared memories, and even simple gestures like a kiss on the forehead. In honoring Tom's dignity and her own feelings, she discovered a new kind of love, one rooted in patience, understanding, and the quiet power of presence. 13. When to talk to your doctor about sexual health. Let me introduce you to Patricia. At 71, she was vibrant, full of life, and enjoyed an active social calendar. But there was something she kept tucked away, a lingering discomfort during intimacy that she couldn't explain. She brushed it off as just aging, convincing herself it was normal. But deep down, she felt something wasn't right. Months went by, and the discomfort grew, until finally, she summoned the courage to mention it during a routine checkup. To her surprise, her doctor was incredibly understanding and identified a simple, treatable condition. Patricia left that appointment with more than just a prescription. She left with relief. If you're experiencing pain, discomfort, changes in libido, or anything that feels off, talk to your doctor. It doesn't have to be a dramatic conversation. Just start small. I've noticed something different, and I'd like to discuss it. Your doctor is there to support your whole health, including your sexual well-being. Empowerment. Patricia's biggest regret was waiting so long to speak up. Once she did, she felt lighter, not just physically, but emotionally. Taking that step gave her back her confidence, reminding her that her comfort and happiness matter at every stage of life. And guess what? Your well-being matters too. 14. Simple safety. Precautions for healthy intimacy. Now meet Lorraine. She's 76, sharp as a tack, and has a playful sense of humor. She once joked, "Who knew dating at my age would involve reading glasses and talking about safe sex?" But Lorraine had a point. After starting a new relationship, she realized she wasn't as informed about intimacy as she thought. She wanted to enjoy her new connection without worry. But where to start? So she did something simple yet powerful. She educated herself, she read up on safe practices, talked openly with her partner, and even had a candid chat with her doctor. It wasn't about fear, it was about freedom. The freedom to enjoy intimacy with confidence. Use protection, like condoms, to reduce the risk of STIs. Get regular health screenings, including STI tests, if you're sexually active with new partners. Communicate openly with your partner about health history and boundaries. Peace of mind. Lorraine told me, knowing I'm taking care of myself means I can focus on the fun part of dating. Safe practices aren't barriers. They're bridges to feeling secure, respected, and fully present in your relationships. 15. Creating a supportive environment for open conversations. Finally, let's talk about Carol and her group of friends. They meet every Thursday for coffee, laughter, and, you guessed it, conversations about everything, including intimacy. What's remarkable about Carol's circle is how open they are. They've created a space where no topic is off limits, from health issues to relationship challenges. One day, Carol shared a story about a recent doctor's visit, where she nervously asked about a sensitive issue. Her friends listened, nodded, and one said, "I've been dealing with that too." That simple admission sparked a heartfelt conversation, filled with advice, support, and relief. No judgment, just understanding. Find your support network. It could be close friends, a community group, or even an online forum where you feel safe sharing and learning. Don't underestimate the power of a conversation. It can be the first step toward solutions you never knew were possible. Connection. Carol's story reminds us that we're not alone. Our experiences, fears, and questions are often shared by others. Creating or finding a supportive environment isn't just comforting, it's liberating. When we speak openly, we create space for healing, growth, and a deep sense of belonging. And isn't that what we all deserve? Well, look at you, braving through a topic most people would rather sweep under the rug. You've just taken a bold step toward prioritizing your health and happiness. Remember, intimacy isn't just for the young. It's for the young at heart. Now, don't just sit there. Share your thoughts below, subscribe, and let's keep this conversation going. After all, life and love doesn't come with an expiration date.